Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Tanya Grantham. I'm the owner and founder of Animal Health and Hydro in South Africa. And today I have a guest with me, Mrs. Sharon Rootman. She is a client at Animal Health and Hydro Pretoria, and we have treated her dog Savannah. And what I'm really looking at is Savannah's had to have some surgery, and I'm going to let Sharon tell us all about it. But the reason she had surgery, she actually underwent repetitive strain injury as a result of lots and lots of rough play, and I'm trying to get to the point where we understand what is appropriate play with our dogs and what are the consequences if we don't learn that or ourselves or teach that to our dogs. So welcome, Sharon. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks, Tanya.
Do you want to give me some background about Savannah?
Savannah is 9 years old at the moment. And since she was probably about 2 or 3 years old, she's been quite ball obsessed. So my husband's favourite game was with a tennis racket and a ball, and he used to hit the ball down to the bottom of our property, and he used to hit the ball down for Savannah to chase. So Savannah is not a normal ball chaser. She really is an obsessive ball chaser, and she hunts the ball almost and doesn't stop gently to pick up or catch a ball. She really does. She's driven by that ball very obsessively. So the way she runs after the ball and stops, she puts a lot of strain on her front, well, I guess maybe all of her legs, to stop. And it is really an obsessive behavior. So for a couple of years, she really strained her legs with all of the bat and ball playing.
So that ties in really well with the repetitive strain injury. And then November last year,
yes,
she started to go lame in the one front leg.
Yes, it was probably about a year before that, Tanya, that she started having problems with her walking. After a walk, I could see she was very limpy in that leg. So we tried various treatments in that of the leg, but it didn't improve at all until you recommended that we go and see the specialist, who I can't quite recall his name now, and he advised that we have her shoulder operated on.
Okay, so what really happened with Savannah is from all of the repetitive rough movements and all of that strain that she placed on her front legs, she actually ended up with a ligament tear on the inside of her shoulder around the capsule, similar to a rotator cuff injury in humans. And so they diagnosed that with a scope and they repaired it. And that injury is really from repeated trauma, and what you're describing with regards to the ball play, I've seen those dogs. They're really explosive. There's lots of twists. The moment they break to pick up the ball, you can think of all of the pressure that's coming on those front legs, and just over time the ligaments got weaker and weaker and weaker, and the symptoms are not always acute. So what you're describing also is it had a build-up, so the problem was there. And eventually it was diagnosed, and then she underwent surgery.
Yes.
And how were things after the surgery?
Okay, so we had actually previously been warned that shoulder surgery is no fun, and that was with Dr. Martin probably 2 or 3 years before that. He said that's an operation he doesn't do, and I'm going to struggle to find anyone who does do that. So Tanya did refer us to the specialist who did the operation, but the recovery is very, very difficult. It's not something that you want to go through multiple times. It's lengthy, and the dog is confined to a cage for 6 weeks. And when I say confined to a cage, it's for 24 hours a day. So Savannah was in the cage, carried upstairs and to sleep, and downstairs during the day, and she was only let out to go to the toilet 2 or 3 times a day. And that wasn't for the full 6 weeks. It did lighten a little bit afterwards, but the recovery period was 6 weeks, and it was really no easy task. And then after she started coming out of the cage, it wasn't though she could just walk perfectly. We had to take it very slowly. And in fact, it's only in the last 2 or 3 months, maybe I'm jumping ahead a bit now,
No,
Tony,
go
you
ahead.
could just pull back again. since she's been having treatment at Animal Health and Hydro, that she can actually get back to work, walking 5 or 6 kilos. 3 months ago, she couldn't even make it kilo. She was walking a kilometer and getting home and very, very lumpy in her leg.
Yeah.
So it's only really over the last few months that she could really get up to walking, running, and she does quite a bit of hunting. We've got a lot of bush area around our dam in our estate. So Miller is the big hunter, and Savannah started hunting with her very recently.
Sure. So the summary then is she's an obsessive ball player. The ball play was excessive in terms of the distance and the speed, and there was absolutely no control with regards to the way that Savannah chased the ball.
Yes.
That resulted in micro traumas, which ended up as a repetitive strain injury, which resulted in the surgery, which in itself was difficult, and then even following on from the surgery, looking after her and making sure, because the financial investment is really big.
Yes.
And the emotional investment, so the trauma of having to keep your dog still so that the injury can heal post-surgery, the trauma on you and the trauma on your body, carrying her up and down the stairs. And so just to give you a time frame, 2 or 3 months ago, so we're literally a year from the surgery. And so it's only in the last 2 or 3 months that Savannah's returned to a normal sort of exercise walking regimen with you, correct? And so what's happened with the ball play at home?
Okay, so she can have a ball now, but she walks around with the ball in her mouth. She has recently started playing ball now in the pool. So she actually does jump in. Recently she has started her jumping into the pool, and then she'll swim with the pool. But there's no bat and ball anymore. It does require quite a bit of discipline on my husband, who is the obsessive guilty party to a certain degree. So that I need to discipline that. But yes, there is no ball playing. Yeah. I've noticed there's been a throw around. I think Berger was onto the couch, and then she can't even dive properly onto a couch to collect a ball, which is a meter away, because it's that obsessive jumping and all her legs being breaking. You used the word breaking, is what I was thinking. Breaking. And she does it now even on a couch, which is a meter away. Yeah. So she cannot play with the ball. She doesn't know how to control her body.
And so, I think what a lot of people are concerned about, and I think for us as dog parents or people, we love to see our dogs happy.
Yes.
And so when we see that kind of, they're getting so excited and they're so enthralled with the game, we don't really think of the consequences.
Yes.
So, I will often say to my clients, well, if you must do that, let's throw the ball in the pool. So you said Savannah likes to swim.
Yes.
And is there ball play in the pool now? And is that helping? Because we have to find a balance between what is good for our dogs and also what serves them and us from we have an emotional need to see our dogs happy. That's why we have them. Yeah. But also what serves us in terms of looking after their health.
Yes, so I did agree with you, Tanya. You have to manage it. So she's quite happy to play ball in the pool now. So winter's obviously a problem then, because then she doesn't swim. We don't have a heated pool, so it's just a normal pool. So then there isn't ball playing really in the pool. So that is a challenge then.
Yeah.
But she also does enjoy her hiking. So it really is bush hiking that we do. So unfortunately with COVID, I'm also at home a little bit more, so we have a lot more opportunities. I hope that lasts.
Yeah.
That we can do a lot more walking, because she can never ever play ball like she used to.
Sure.
Because it will just be further damage.
So any final, thanks for all that input. I think it's very real and very valid, and your own experiences obviously is what I'm hoping will come through with this discussion. So any final advice you would give to potential ball playing criminals?
I think that you need to listen to other people's advice, because it was something that we had been warned. Don't play with Savannah with a bat and ball. So we had been water. It really is a warning to everyone, because it's not a pleasant process to go through. Yes, it's costly, but it's more than that, it's emotionally very stressful. It's not that easy to carry a 13-kilo dog up and down.
Yeah.
So rather take care and behave properly and appropriately with your dogs, rather than have to end up with an operation of this nature.
Cool. Thank you. So there you have it, straight from someone who's experienced it.